Welcome back to the channel, guys. I'm Sheldon and this is Behind the Enthusiast. Today we have to do a little bit of maintenance, basically maintaining the 2004 Honda CRF450R that has been converted over to flat track. My bike does need a little bit of love in the chain department. Yes, today we are going to be looking at adjusting the chain. This will have a little bit of an overlap with some other models ranging from 2002 to 2006, 250s and 450s. We are going to be referencing the Haynes manual. So all the information in here is stuff that you guys can follow. I'll even show you guys screenshots so you know where I'm getting it from. And hopefully it'll be straightforward because a race is coming up and I definitely need to adjust the chain because it does seem a little bit loose. So let's get into it. So first things first, guys, this is the manual that I have been referencing for any video regarding the bike and any maintenance. So as you can see, Honda CRF250, CRF450, so 2002, 2006 R models and X models. This is by Haynes. So today we are going to be taking a look at this chain. Now, I'm going to show you guys exactly what I did to adjust it, and we're going to be following step by step as per the book so we don't miss anything. Step number one, they actually recommend to check the chain, you have to support the bike securely. Their words, not mine, and you have to have the rear wheel off the ground. Obviously, the transmission should be in neutral as well, so make sure the bike is free rolling before you put it up on the stand, just like this. So as you guys can see, the wheel is off the ground. That is step number one. Now, step number two is going to involve a measuring tape. Basically, you guys are going to be putting a measuring tape up into here, right where the guard there, where that screw goes into the swing arm there. You are measuring right from there. So you have your measuring tape right there. And what you guys are going to be doing, I'm going to show you guys with the wrench here. You're going to be pushing down. So put pressure down. And then from that point, you have your tape measure lined underneath here, and then you're going to lift up. That is the slack that we are measuring. Now, they say that the slack can be anywhere from 1 inch to 1 3/8 inches. So you guys have to make sure that you are within that spec if you are outside of it, which I was just a minute ago until I actually started adjusting this chain. So make sure you guys are within that spec, and if you're not within that spec, we move on to step number three is going to involve loosening the axle nut. Now, you guys are gonna have to grab a massive socket for this one. You are going to need a 1 1/4 socket. That is the only thing that I have at my disposal that actually fits on here. So slight play, ever so slight, but that is literally the only thing that I can fit on there. Now again, you're going counterclockwise to loosen this off, and once it is loose enough that this block here, I don't know if you guys can see that, hopefully you can hear that, so that is loose. Now, once that is loose, you guys are going to start adjusting this right here. This is another lock nut. You're gonna have to back that one off. And in order for you guys to back that one off, you need a 12mm wrench. So, very simple. Keep in mind that these are opposites. So right now I am actually tightening this one back up, going righty-tighty. However, the other side is going to be the opposite direction. So keep this in mind when you guys are tightening them back up, or when you're actually making your adjustments to here. Because if you go the wrong way and you are counting backwards instead of forwards or vice versa, you will run into problems with this being measured out correctly. Now, for this smaller one, we're going to be using a 10 mil. So the 10 mil goes right on like that. And again, depending on what side you're on, it will be the opposite direction. This one, keep in mind, get a nice little close up here for you guys. You guys can see those lines there. So you follow these lines, and there should be a center line in the block as well. So the right side and the left side both have these. So you can see it right there. That one right there. Use that one as a guide, and basically every single time that you're turning this side, which happens to be the left, say I turn this 5 times, or I turn it even 10 times. Regardless of how many times I actually turn this, let's say I'm going from here and then I'm actually going all the way down. Once I hit here, that is going in straight, going down to about a 45-degree angle, full range of motion on the wrench, 1 turn. That is what I'm classifying as 1 turn. If I do that 10 times, I go on to the other side and I do the exact same thing. This is how you guys keep it even. And if you want to, have basically an added line, you can always take a marker and you guys can always mark your blocks. I didn't choose to do this because I have the lines here. They're very simple to follow. And I counted 10 here or 6 here or whatever I did. And I did the same thing on the other side. Keep in mind, once you do make these adjustments, you have to go back over and check the slack again. If you guys go too far, obviously you're going to have to back off the adjustment. So if you take off, let's say 2 on this side because you're over, you have to go back onto the other side and do the exact same thing. Once you guys have done that, once the slack has been adjusted here, you're within that 1 inch to 1 3/8. You are good to go. Obviously, you just do the same thing in reverse. You tighten up the nut here. Make sure the block doesn't have any play in it as well. The right side is the one that definitely has a lot of play in it. The left side doesn't seem to have any. And you guys, to finish off this job, obviously you're gonna have to torque the nut. But before you do that, you might as well inspect any of the plastic guards here. So you got your bottom one, you've got the wheel here, and then you've got this one right here as well. You guys can check those for excessive wear. And when you guys are going to tighten up the lock nut here, make sure that you are using both of the wrenches. You want to be holding the 12 mil on the lock nut, of course, and the 10 mil on the adjustment screw head. And you want to be holding the one on the right. You want to be maintaining that one while you're putting pressure on the nut to actually lock it in place. Because if you don't put the 10 mil on here, it is actually going to spin that adjustment screw just enough that it could potentially throw off your adjustment for your slack, and nobody wants that. Now, the other thing you guys want to do, see the block here, you want to make sure that this is flush up against your adjustment screw. Now, the best way to do this is get a rubber mallet, just like this one. That is what I used. Basically, just give it 1 or 2 taps. Just make sure that it is flush up against that adjustment screw. You want to make sure that it is flush because when you lock it in place, you don't want that block to be out of alignment. And of course, the other thing you guys want to do is spin the wheel, which allows you to check for different slack points in the chain. So rotate the wheel and then double check your slack. And again, the last thing you're going to do is put the nut back to the proper torque spec. And like I said, I'm going to show you guys directly from the book. 7-2 rear axle nut, slide over, 127 or 94 foot-pounds. There you go, right from the book. So if you guys are following this manual, this thing is great to use. So now that we know what we should be using for the torque spec, I'm gonna go over there and finish the job. Well guys, what did you think of the DIY how-to video straight from the Haynes manual? If you guys have any comments or questions, anything at all, if you guys have any, reservations, if you will, and you're not too sure of what you're doing, and maybe you're halfway through the video and you're thinking, I'm lost, I'm confused, whatever it might be, leave a comment down below, ask any questions you guys might have, anything, to do with clarification perhaps. I have the book in front of me. Obviously, I can grab it. If you guys have a question for me, I can double check the book. Leave it in the comments section. I will reply to your comment directly, so you guys don't have to worry about waiting for another video to get uploaded. I can always clarify it through the comment section. Now, for me, it's pretty simple job. I thought it was going to be way more complicated. I actually asked my buddy who's a mechanic and he explained it to me, absorbed all that information, referenced my manual, of course, for the torque specs and everything else, and went through all of those things that you should be double checking while you're doing the job. And really the only thing you have to do right now is lube the chain. Now, of course, if you guys needed to replace the chain because it is outside, well, actually, here's the thing. If you guys make that adjustment, right, to the chain, and you're supposed to be within the inch to inch and 3/8. However, those little blocks, when you're actually turning them back, if those blocks literally fall out of your swing arm, so basically your chain is stretched to the point where those blocks are no longer actually functional and they fall off essentially, it is time for a new chain. So just keep that in mind. If you guys are like, I ran out of adjustment room, you need a new chain. Or you also need to get a new chain and potentially take out a link as well. So you may have to do that as well. So just a side note there. But anyway, that's it for me in this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully it was very clear to understand. I want to make videos for you guys that are simple to follow and not make it complicated. Short and sweet and to the point. So if you guys like this video, make sure to smash that like button so I know that it's working. And of course, be sure to subscribe so you guys don't miss out on future content on the channel, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.